What if we stopped talking about neurodivergent children and started talking with them? Cliff and his 13-year-old daughter, Eva, are changing the conversation on SEN. And this chat will leave you rethinking everything from praise to placements. If you are caring for someone else, whether paid or unpaid, and no matter how many hours you do it, did you realise that you may be missing out on thousands of pounds of discounts for things that you may use every day? The Able to Care podcast is proud to be sponsored by the UK's #1 carers card. Started by two best friends who recognise that carers deserve better and are 100% committed to helping to change the lives of all carers and bringing them together as a strong community. Carers Card UK provides support, recognition and rewards. It offers reassurance by providing an ID card that helps access emergency information when needed, while also unlocking discounts, a wellbeing hub, a carers circle tool and a community through their app. All of this for less than the price of a box of chocolates a year. There are discounts on gym membership, days out, electrical goods, clothing and even glasses. Let others know you care while taking a little care of yourself with an ID card you can be proud of. Visit carerscarduk.co.uk/promo code/able to care today to order yours. Hello and welcome to the Able to Care podcast. I'm joined by father-daughter duo who are quietly shaking up the way we understand neurodiversity, family voice, and what really helps children thrive. Cliff Kilmister is the host of the Parenting Autism and ADHD Podcast, a show built from lived experience, giving parents of neurodivergent children a place to feel seen, supported, and heard. Now, we've had a chance to chat before the show, and it's clear we share a belief in doing better, especially when it comes to how systems treat families. Joining Cliff is his 13-year-old daughter, Eva, who is navigating life as a neurodivergent young person with insight, honesty, and humour. She recently moved from mainstream to an SEN school, and though it's early stages, the impact on her confidence and well-being is already something worth celebrating. So we'll be diving into education, life, and the bigger picture of voice, belonging, and real-world hope for families walking a similar path. So thank you, both of you, so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, I'm going to start with you, Cliff, if that's all right, because obviously this is the second time that we've chatted. You were gracious enough to invite me onto your podcast. But for anybody new to your podcast, so the Parenting Autism and ADHD Podcast, how has the space evolved from that first conversation we had, and what caused you to start the podcast?
Let's start with that. What caused me to start the podcast was my daughter. So we've been on quite the journey with Eva. Struggles with it started in nursery. She started in nursery, and she wasn't really. What did you feel about nursery, Eva? You hated it, didn't you?
Yeah, I felt like I didn't have any. No, I don't think I had any friends. There's like not many memories from that, but like back then. There's only two I can remember, but one of them sticks in my mind the most. Like there was this like really old My Little Pony toy thing, and I would grab it and I'd grabbed something else. I can't remember what it was, and I went underneath all of the coats and just sat there playing with it by myself. That's the main thing I can remember from
Yeah.
back then.
So what we know now, hearing that breaks my heart because I didn't even know about that story of her hiding under the coats. So it's little things like this that have over time we've learned. Oh my goodness, there's nothing wrong with her. She's just wired differently. How do we manage this? How do we navigate this? And we had limited support. There was like one or two other parents in the playground in primary. We got to primary, and other children were having similar struggles with neurodiversity. We didn't know it was that at the time. And one of her teachers, said to us, I think it was around. It was about always forget the times. It's roughly when she was about 6 or 7. And they said, we think that, all her struggles with learning and her behaviors are different to other children because we think that she's got some kind of neurodiversity, learning problems. And that's when we went on the SEN pathway. So that was a really nice teacher that told us about that. But unfortunately, we were misinformed that we couldn't get her diagnosed with anything until she was 8, I think they said. Yeah. So we really set back. And then once we got to 8, then COVID hit. And so our diagnosis just kept getting delayed and delayed for the assessments. And that's that journey that we've been on, that really laid the foundation for, if we'd have known about this stuff earlier, and we really want to get that message out there to people that, if you see your child hiding under a blanket all the time and doing certain fidgety things, then these are all signs to be thinking about. And what can we do? And one of the things we really struggled with, which probably delayed it a little bit with us, was the stigma of labeling your child. Who wants to label their child? I did not. We did not. And we just thought, we can navigate this. She's okay. She's just being a quirky kid, And yeah, we do regret that. So if we can help other parents going through similar things, really just try to change your mindset. It's not labeling your child. It's uh, changing your mindset to different ways of thinking so that you can support them and adapt to them better. And then everything just gets a lot easier. Well, it's not never easy, never easy, but you get strategies, and you know what I mean. You can.
How long was the total journey from first suspicions to actual official diagnosis?
Yeah, sure. It was about 2017 that we first got told that we think, there's something different there that needs investigating and proper assessments. So the primary school we had, they did have like the SEN pathway, and we did get a lot of support. Unfortunately, it wasn't really tailored in a way that would really help Eva. Some of the teachers really got it. I should say who was your favourites, Eva? There was the lady. Thinking of the words gone. 1 second. Teaching the teaching assistant. The teaching assistants, some of them really got it. And we had 2 teachers for the whole of the primary years that really knew how to connect with Eva. So we were writing off entire years. When they can't adapt to Eva, Eva will just shut down. She'll come home. She used to come home and she would say, "Oh, Dad, I had a really good day today." Well, why is that then? Because usually she's had a bad day. I didn't get in trouble today.
That's it. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it? That's kind of sometimes the one plus I've got is that I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get told off, which is definitely not what you hope to hear from your children. No. It's kind of like, I had a good day. I did this and I did that. I did the other. Is that and that's a difficult journey, I should imagine, that we'll talk to you about in a little bit, Eva. So just come back to the podcast for a second. Obviously, you've only really just got started, haven't you? So when was your first episode released?
Yeah,
it was a few
3 weeks ago. Yeah.
3 weeks. I think you put 10 or a number of episodes out at the same time.
Yeah.
So Eva, how are you enjoying being on the podcast and expressing yourself like this?
I think it's pretty cool actually. I really like it. There's not much that I want to like say about it. It's because I really like it. I just think it's pretty cool.
That's okay. Have you had anybody who's listened to it kind of reach out and talk to you guys or anything?
Yeah, I've had loads of really positive feedback from lots of parents. That's quite. Actually, I did this video to thank all the people that had contacted me and reached out, and for some reason YouTube just blocked it, and It might have been for the best because I got a little bit emotional, got a bit choked up. Yeah.
That's sweet. That's lovely. But hopefully you'll get a chance to get that message out there again. So for both of you, I suppose, what's something that you wish more people understood? What's the main message that you guys want to get out from? And maybe you've got different ideas on this. So Eva, what's the thing that you'd like to tell people the most?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think the main reason is that you shouldn't like this is my reason is more dedicated to the children. Like if children do end up listening to the podcast, then like what I want them to take away from it is the fact that you shouldn't really be mean to people that act different because it can really affect them and it could possibly affect how you act as well. So that's what I want to take away kids to take away from
You'd
it.
love to when you're speaking out, you'd love kids to kind of both sides, maybe kids who share something with you to kind of know that maybe they're not alone as well as kids who maybe don't understand to go just be kind or be kinder. Is that the case? That's really good.
Eva, tell Andy about your presentation that you did to the school. That was brilliant.
Oh, yeah. In my secondary school, my old one, I did a presentation to not all of the, but some of the teachers, and I called it "telling them off" because they always do these things like shouting at them and like say things that shouldn't really be said. Not as in swear words, more as in like um being like really aggressive with it. So I was saying that this is comfort, this is not. Maybe you should try and do this. And I understand that it's hard for people to do certain things and to change it up, but like just try your best, sort of thing. I can't remember much from the presentation, but I know the teachers liked it, and and a lot of them changed.
Oh, that's really good. I mean, that's amazing that you got the opportunity to do that, and there isn't many schools out there, I think, allow children to speak up. I've got some young people very very close to me that also have special and additional needs, and same thing, and they've been told off for well. I think some of the phrases that you might have encountered is things like telling you to grow up or things like that, or act more mature. And it's like, well, I'm not doing this because I'm purposefully being young. I'm doing this because I'm struggling with this particular thing. So yeah, that's amazing. You got to speak out.
Yeah, she did the whole presentation, and she said, "It's not for me. This is for all of the children that are like me. So anyone that's neurodiverse." She was raising awareness within the teachers. It was really quite cool. I had to stand up with her because she was a little bit, but didn't want. Well, let me put it the right way. Eva has got so much confidence locked up. It's there, but she wanted me to stand with her while she did it all. I just stood there. It was all kudos to you, Eva. You did really well. And she was talking about things like being aware of children that need to wear a hat for comfort, or a blanket, a safety blanket, or have a teddy. And she likes to have a notebook to scribble in. This one, this is another great thing that Eva's done.
Segue.
The cat book. Okay.
Yes, my merch.
Oh, right. Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So
tell me about your merch then, Eva.
So basically, it's just what it says on the cover. It's just a sketchbook for like whatever, like really you can write notes in it and you can draw whatever you want. Really, I draw in it like that sort of thing. And what the funny thing that I like to do with my sketchbooks, every time I get one, I go to the back page and I ask my friends to what I call vandalize my sketchbook. And they can write whatever they want in it, really. or like they can draw something, but sometimes I tell them to draw it small so I can fit more people in it.
Okay, that's a little routine you like to do. Is that every new
Yeah.
sketchbook that you get that you have that
Yeah,
done?
yeah,
Oh, that's
almost
interesting.
everyone,
So
yeah.
does that give a special feeling when you get to the end of the books then? Do you kind of just look at that at the end, or do you sometimes look at those pictures other times
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, sometimes I use the pictures for inspiration,
Oh,
sometimes I don't, so
well, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that.
yeah.
Yeah, but she uses that for self-regulation. And this was what one of the things we was raising awareness for. If she's learning maths, well, she's not very good at maths. So, but if she's got her notepad, she's going to be able to focus on the drawing whilst listening. But if you just ask her to focus on the boring thing that she's not interested in, you're going to get nothing. So it's that balance of, and there are times when she's got to propose the book and actually do, whatever's on the page.
I do tend to do my
Yeah.
work as well.
But that regulation is really important for Eva and probably many other children as well, for coping strategies. Because otherwise it's just too much.
That's the education of the teachers, as you were doing that talk, though, isn't it? Going, look, I promise I'm not just ignoring you. I'm doing this to help cope. I listen to you better when I'm doing this rather than listen to you less. And it's so important that adults, teachers, even parents, I should imagine, we all have that sometimes idea, isn't it? Look at me when I'm talking to you. As this kind of script, do we think that a child is only being respectful if they're looking at it, only listening? And it's just completely false. It comes from a place of ignorance. They're not meaning to be malicious, but they just don't know. They just don't know any better. So that's what we need to tell them, which is what your podcast is all about.
Really, and it was really weird because I had a conversation with my mum on the podcast, and she just volunteered the same thing. Oh, when I was at school, I used to have my notepad and I would doodle in it, and the teacher would tell me off. Exactly the same thing happens with Eva, and she's always told off.
Yeah. And that's it. We kind of would have hoped that times had moved on a little bit quicker than they have, wouldn't we? So, Cliff, you've spoken and you mentioned to me about you wish you'd been able to start the EHCP process at an earlier stage. Was that related to helping educationally to get Eva in? When did that all kind of start, the EHCP process?
I think it was about 2020 because I think we got our diagnosis about 2020. So 5 years. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say we've done it for you keep telling me that we've been going for 5 years.
5 years.
Trying
5
to
years.
get it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's when we got her into the new school, we cried. We really did. And Eva, she was lucky because she got a couple of weeks of transition period just before starting in September. So now she's got a feel for it. The summer holidays just feel totally different because we're not worried about going to school probably for the first time ever. Is that fair to say, Eva? Which is quite well, it's monumental. I can't, I'm going to get choked up again in a minute. But on the last day of school in the new place, they did the leaving ceremony for the year 11s. There's only like 5 or 6 per year group. It's such a small, and it's all like, it's a bit similar to your podcast the other day with Roger Mitchell. It seems a very person-centered atmosphere. They all know the children personally, intimately. They even know Eva's name. She's only been there a couple of weeks. And all the teachers, when we were there that one day, seemed to know who she was. And there's a real family vibe there. And when they were saying goodbye to the year 11s, they were all getting tearful because it's like losing family. They're all that generation of kids moving on. And I was just watching Eva watch the ceremony, and her face is like, this couldn't get any bigger. The smile was, and I've never seen her so happy in a school. So all those 5 years of battling the system, it did a world up. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, there's many parents that have gone through that journey battling for not just getting the EHCP plan sometimes, but actually then getting it instigated properly. Because even though it's a legal document, sometimes the schools don't always follow it as they should, or aren't always willing to admit where they can't follow it, and therefore allow, options. We've just been going through a very similar thing as far as difficulty, and we finally managed to get, and we've just had the same thing. Both girls are close in my life. They've now not going to school anymore, and they've got a similar positive summer holidays. They're both now going to college. One's a little bit early and stuff, a little bit more freedom, a little bit more kind of support that they need, and that's massive, isn't it? Is that what it feels like, Eva? You feel like you're moving to a place with people who'll get you a little bit more and maybe help you in the right way?
Yeah.
What do you think, as far as, obviously it sounds like there's been a bit of emotional journey, and only tell me what you feel comfortable with, but what do you feel made school really hard for you?
I think it's the relationship between teacher and student, because um I had I noticed a lot of the teachers were very oh, you're doing this wrong, like sort of mindset, um I think they had the best intentions sort of thing, but they put it in the worst way. Like they were a bit too aggressive with it. And what it felt like to me was like you gotta get it done in this amount of time, really fast, quickly, nice, neat handwriting. And um and it's really and like
You might be able
frustrating.
to get it done really quickly, or the neat handwriting, but you're not going to be able to get it done really quickly and neat handwriting. That's what you, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So it felt like there was a lot of pressure sometimes for you wanted to do it right, you desperately wanted to, but you just felt it was too hard the way they were trying to get you to do it, to kind of, like, as you say, tidy and quick, or there was
Yeah.
just too much all in one go.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
seemed to get annoyed with you. Did you feel like you were being criticized quite a lot then? Being told,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
feeling like you were good enough?
Yeah, it was the same thing. It's not just secondary. I think it was the same feeling in primary school as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And looking at your sketches there in the book, and obviously I've heard your podcast as well. Obviously you're a very talented young lady and got lots about you worth sharing. But sometimes there may be certain bits that aren't a strength, and that's it. If you're being told all the time that's not how it should be done, you need to do this better, that's only going to kind of make you feel like not doing more rather than doing more, isn't it? A little bit like, look, why should I bother? Rather than, yeah. So I know, Cliff, you mentioned that you'd listened to one of my episodes before related to praise, and you said that something had resonated with you in that. I don't know whether you both
Not
listened
funny
to
what
that,
we
but
think
yeah.
now. Praise done in the wrong way can be detrimental to the child. And I thought that was quite fascinating because, you just naturally say, "Oh, you've done that really well," but you don't take into consideration, well, you've set the bar, and how is that child going to feel about maintaining that level? Really tricky one. It'd be good to explore that further with you. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you find praise okay? Eva, do you like being praised, or do you find it difficult?
I mean, that I don't know. Like I kind of do. Like it's nice feeling like when you get like I don't know. I think so. I think so.
Yeah. You like it when people are pleased with you, I should imagine. Like, it
Yeah,
feels
I just
nice.
find it hard to like say anything back if they say, "Oh, that looks really nice. Oh, you've done that very well." I'm just like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks." Yeah, I just get really quiet because I don't know what to say back to them.
Well, it is really hard though, isn't it? Because they've
Yeah.
still sort of set an expectation of they've given you something, but you don't really know what they want back from you. It's like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that could feel really awkward. Like, I don't know what you want me to say here. What I can tell you're happy with me, but I don't know how to continue to make you happy with me with the way you've just spoken to me. And I think that's
Yeah.
really, really confusing. And
Yeah.
that's, I think that's for everybody. That's not just somebody who's also neurodivergent. It's like, and there's a wonderful story. So I spoke to, so he was talking about gratitude, and was saying thank you. And he said it really doesn't make a lot of sense to him sometimes. In the fact that if he's asked somebody to do something and they've done it for him, then he genuinely feels gratitude. That feels really nice. And he's happy to say, thank you so much. But let's say that he described it as if somebody goes off to the supermarket and they come back and they bring a chocolate bar back for him. He doesn't understand why he should be grateful and why he should say thank you. He didn't ask for the chocolate bar. So he likes the chocolate bar, but he doesn't get why he should then be grateful for it, why the expectation of gratitude. And that's the way, like, I found that really, really interesting at this completely different perspective. Because if you really think about it, it's not, the thank you isn't for the person receiving the chocolate bar, it's for the person who gave it, for them to feel good about themselves. And I think that's, but that feels strange, isn't it? Why are you giving me praise? Do you want a thank you back, or are you just, okay, you've told me I'm good. Okay.
Yeah.
You like my picture? All right. What am I supposed to do with that? It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely get that. Completely get that, Eva. So one of the things I teach around praise quite a lot is that, one, it can be challenging. In fact, it sets an expectation. So we should always praise the process, not the person or the outcome. So if I say, well done for getting 10 out of 10, well, then you've gone, well, so then if I don't get 10 out of 10, does that mean I'm not good enough anymore? And well done for being clever. Well, that means if I don't get 10 out of 10, then does that mean I'm not clever anymore? So actually, it's always better to go, well done for working so hard. Well done for sitting and managing to listen for that whole lesson. It doesn't matter what the outcome was. It's about the process. It's about the effort. It's about the bit that we want repeated. I don't care whether a kid gets 1 out of 10, 10 out of 10, as long as that's the best that they could do in that particular moment. So I'd rather just praise them for, hey, well done for doing your best. Amazing. So that's where we kind of shift that praise element a little bit. So yeah, it's a big area though. And that's it. It's hard for parents, right? Because nobody gave you a manual when you first...
No. Well, my manual really was what I've learned from being told off by my mum. So
yeah,
when she's telling me off because I'm sitting around enjoying myself, she calls me lazy. I think that I listened to your podcast about that earlier on, and I was like, I probably do this to Eva.
Well, hopefully I'm changing things for the better between the two of you as well as the conversations you're having.
That's the whole idea of the Parenting Autism and ADHD podcast, is to learn, and what better way to learn than to talk about it with specialists like yourself. This is amazing.
Have you ever encountered an adult or child's behaviour that has felt difficult, overwhelming, or challenging? Have you sometimes felt at a loss of what to do, or know that you didn't handle it quite right? People are complex and unpredictable, and their behaviour can be like the weather. We've all made the mistake of looking out the window and feeling safe to wear shorts, but 5 minutes later wishing for an umbrella. What if, like a weatherman, you understood how humidity, temperature and pressure all come together to cause the weather, allowing you to better prepare, predict and respond, and prevent ever having a picnic ruined by a thunderstorm ever again? My book, called Targeting the Positive with Behaviours that Challenge, helps you to become the weatherman of behaviour. It provides you with a toolkit to increase competency, confidence, resilience and empathy, so you feel more assured about how to respond to distressed or dysregulated behaviours in others, including those affected by trauma, mental health, neurodiversity, learning disabilities or dementia. Build better connections, achieve de-escalation and improve outcomes for yourself and those you engage with my celebrated 6-stage target model, a step-by-step process to reduce distress for everyone. Discover my empowering, person-centered guide in Targeting the Positive, written by me, Andy Baker, available from online bookstores worldwide. Find a link in the description and order today. Is there a compliment? What do you like, or what do you feel you're good at, Eva? What do you really enjoy and feel you're good at?
I feel like I'm good at art. I feel like I'm somewhat good at making videos.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm really good at gaming as well.
So do you want to tell me a little bit about these videos? Because I've only watched the one at the moment that you did on AI. Cliff shared that episode with me. Yeah. So what made you start doing these the YouTube videos yourself?
Well, just other YouTubers really. I watched loads of other YouTubers when I was really little, and I was just like, "Oh, I really wanna do that, I really wanna do that." So when I finally got my channel, when what was it, 2019, and, I started to, like, put loads of videos out there. There were really silly ones. Dad helped me edit some of them at the time, and then when I got a phone, I was able to make YouTube Shorts. So I just put out so many YouTube Shorts that I can barely even count them. And um, that's what probably got me as many subscribers as I've got now. But I know, and all my actual videos, they're either like memes or like the old videos. And I'm thinking, right, I actually want to get into making actual videos now. So I've posted 2 actual proper videos, which is the AI one and what was the other one? About autism and bullying. I'm trying to post a third one, but for some reason it's not working. It's, what's it? It's an unboxing one. Um, and, um, yeah. I'm hoping that I'll get known for that as well as my funny stuff because I'm trying to find my niche at the moment, like what I should do. So I'm in between like funny and informational sort of. So yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah, the AI one was really interesting. You had some good points in there, and obviously it's something you're interested in and looking into. And then you said you've done one on the autism and bullying as well. Right. Okay. I'll check that one out as well, and I'll make sure we put a link to your show because it's called
Inspire with us, yeah.
Inspire with us. That's it. It was on the books there as well, wasn't it? So we'll make sure that's it. You'll be selling a load of merch. So do you want to tell us both, Eva, from your point of view? Tell us about the new school. What are you hoping from the new school?
I don't know what I'm hoping from. I'm just hoping from I'll get a good education and like that I'll be able to take something away from it and get to know the teachers on a personal level sort of thing, as well as them get to know me and like be able to have like friendships within teachers and students and stuff like that.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Well, hopefully that's
Yeah.
the case. What about you for yourself, Cliff? What are your hopes from Eva's new school?
I just want to see her happy and like your conversation with Roger Mitchell. I'd like to see that develop. We've seen early signs of it now, but if we can see that person-centered approach with Eva, I think that she will start to excel and really come out of herself. I'm sure they'll build that bond. But at the moment, it's school feels the old one. It was more of a battle getting the children and teacher to connect. Whereas here, I feel like all that work is, I don't need to fight for that anymore. Eva doesn't need to do a presentation to tell you how to connect with me because these people get it. So she's just going to thrive from here, and that's the beauty that we wouldn't have seen if we hadn't kept pressing for the EHCP. And I think that's a key message that I really inspired me to do the podcast, really to keep fighting because they really want you to give up. I'm sure of it. They make it so difficult. You know, they decline to assess. Then you fight for that in mediation. Then they agree to assess. Then they assess and say, no, a mainstream can deal with it. We're not going to issue. Then you appeal. Then you go to court. Then you fight, and all this time we don't know what we're doing. So we're having to pay specialists to help us fill in the form. The form's like mind blowing, you know. And we had to pay for a private assessment because they said no. So we had to get someone private. It all costing money. Um, and each stage you think, oh, should we just quit and we'll manage? You know, we'll fight through. We'll keep going the way we are. But then you keep. I'm too stubborn, and I was like, no, I'm not having this. If they're going to go down, we're going down. We're going to go down with a fight. So I kept at it. My wife was brilliant. She's been rock steady through it as well, hasn't she, Eva? It's been a journey for all of us, and we've battled it as a family. And I think I'm going to say it. I'm not very good at bigging myself up, but I think we did a fantastic job, and we had fantastic support from the people that supported us as well. Even though they were paid professionals, they were outstanding. And yeah,
It probably it probably made you realize, obviously, there's many parents out there that may not be able to afford it, or for instance, or maybe struggling with other things in life to be able to push forward in the way that you have. Maybe their resilience isn't as strong. As you said, it's been a real battle or feel like a challenge for you. So there may be individuals out there. So, that hopefully with the podcast and the information you're putting out, there's some guidance will be mixed in there. Is that one of your aims then, to try and learn as much as you can about EHCPs, to try and educate out on your podcast and things like that as
yeah,
well?
we're going to definitely do some shows about the HCP and how we managed to overcome certain hurdles and get some information out there for people. That's definitely some shows we're going to put together. At the moment, we're just still finding our feet, and I'm enjoying just interviewing people like yourself and other professionals. We've got NHS practitioner that we have interviewed, and he's really set out a lot of structure and principles in his workshop, and he kindly joined us as well. So little things like this, and even if you don't get an EHCP, we want to put hope out there as well. Because my cousin, she's got it's all over our family. We've got a neurodiverse family through cousins and everywhere. Um, she managed to her children are excelling, and they've got some neurodiverse challenges as well. But there is hope. If you don't get the HCP, okay, then we move on. And
Did you manage to access any free support in your area at all?
no.
So I don't know which area of the country are you in.
Kent.
You're Kent way. I'll see if I can find anything out around Kent. But so we're Lincolnshire based, so there's what's called the Liaise team, and the Liaise team are an independent team that are not for profit. They don't take any money, but they offer a free advisory for parents. They're non-prejudicial, so they won't take either the school side or the parent side, but they will offer kind of unbiased advice and direct you and signpost you in all sorts of ways. They're a fantastic service that my partner's used on a number of occasions. So I'll make sure if I can find any details and put them into show notes for Liaise, but I'll see if I can find if there is anything in your area as well, because it might be worth you getting them on your podcast and having a conversation with them, because I think they'd offer some real insights for you.
Legend. Thank you, Andy.
It's all right. So obviously, this has been a journey for both of you as far as getting a diagnosis and changing schools and things like that. Is there things that you look back and kind of realized, well, maybe for yourself, Cliff, like, do you sometimes feel elements of guilt and shame, or wish you'd done things differently?
Oh, absolutely.
Or have you kind of managed to overcome that?
No, I do feel it. I really wish that we'd known more when we went through. Should have listened more to Eva, where she was basically telling with us, with her body language, with the meltdowns, with the shutdowns, right from nursery age, and we didn't know. We just thought she was just a quirky kid, bit difficult, terrible twos. You hear that? Forget that. Go and speak to a doctor and get someone to properly assess, because otherwise you just don't really know. That's what I regret the most.
There's many people out there though that go for the first doctor, and if the doctor says no, then it's because that's the case then. And I think they don't realise to go and ask another doctor and another doctor and another doctor, and don't stop. Be tenacious if you recognise that even if there isn't a diagnosis, if your kid's struggling in a different way, or having a hard time, then I think it's worth fighting for, isn't it? But I think so often parents are kind of shushed and like, oh, I'm being just over dramatic. And we all want to, as you said, you don't want to label your child, which I get in many ways, as far as, not necessarily wanting to unnecessarily give a label, but sometimes it accesses so much extra stuff to help and stuff. I would say, and obviously it was quite a long journey to get the diagnosis, but being able to, even if you're not sure, learn about it, shift your kind of practices and style and parenting, and try and educate the teachers of what worked best and things like that before you get that. And the other thing is EHCPs, you don't actually have to have a diagnosis for an EHCP plan as well. A lot of people don't realize that, as long as if there is some evidence of a difficulty in education and learning, you don't need a diagnosis for it. And a lot of people don't know that either. So I'm going to send some guests your way, Cliff. I think you both find useful to chat to and learn more from.
One of my guests previously was a comedian, and he said, my dad took me to the doctors, and he says, can you check him out and find out if there's any neurodiversity or anything wrong there? And the doctor said, no, he hasn't got that. He said, well, what's wrong with him then? And then later he got diagnosed and he did have autism. So, like you say, don't take the first word. I think that's very good advice.
Well, there was also, so we did an early interview with a very good friend of mine. We're going to be having her on again. So she's, we know each other from kind of childhood era or adolescence. And she got a diagnosis a few years ago, both her daughter and her son and herself. And she was like, when she was going to get her daughter tested, because she knew that she was struggling, but didn't necessarily believe it was autism. As they're going through the symptoms, well, that's not autism, I do that. Well, that's not autism, I do that. All the family do that. And it was then realised going, oh, that's because I'm on the spectrum as well.
Exactly, yeah. And I had the same revelation with Eva when we got her diagnosed. I was like, well, that's me. Yeah. Sorry, Eva, you've got most of this from me.
But that's nice. It gives you, an insight into and it gives you a passion to then hopefully help Eva to not maybe go through some of the challenges that you had to overcome without that support, if there is some similarities there.
Yeah.
So if a teacher, carer is listening right now, what's one thing that you'd want them to understand? Maybe Eva, this is for you. What's one thing you'd like other people to understand about you?
Maybe I think some people think that autism is the same for every single person or child. It's not really that. There's a wide range of autism, and it's not like that you can pick and choose what character traits you want or you have. You just naturally get them, and you shouldn't really take that as a negative thing sometimes. Sometimes, yes, it can be, and it's really tricky, but you can hopefully put a spin on that and change yourself slightly, and you can get better, and you can use your autism in a sense that's good, sort of thing.
Yeah. So get tools and strategies that work for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you see it as do you feel, because obviously for yourself, getting a diagnosis, was that a change for you when you got that official diagnosis? Did it kind of feel different once you got that label for yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I've always I didn't really like the fact that I was different when I was in primary school and in secondary school. But now that I know I have the diagnosis, I sort of put a spin on it and joke about it with my friends. I make a joke out of it, and I turn it into something funny instead of something sad. So that's what I like to do with it.
Funny.
And do your friends joke with you around that as well?
Yeah, my friends tend to joke with me with it as well. So.
Do they sometimes tease you for little things that you do that are kind of part of your autism, but you know it's a joke, and you know that you tease them about things they do which are a bit probably neurotypical?
I tease them, they tease me, and I've noticed some things that one of my friends does, and I'm starting to think maybe he has a bit of autism as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you told him that yet, or have you just
Yeah, I have told him a few times. I've said to him, I think you've got a little bit of autism, and I think he might have probably taken it as a joke,
right?
but I think he knows it's probably true.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he maybe recognises those little bits in himself that goes, yeah, I'm a bit different in that, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Cliff. What were you are you gonna say something as well? No. What's the one thing you'd like people to know about Eva?
What would I like people to know about Eva? She's such a funny person. So tune into her show, Inspire with Us. If you're a child, probably for you, probably more the audience. If your children are interested, get to know Eva on there and on the podcast, because
Yeah.
she's a regular on our show as well. So yeah, she's the star of the show. Let's face it.
I love it. Like, yeah, special guests, they'll be tuning out on the episodes. They'll be tuning in and going, oh, she's not there. That's it. I'm off. Don't want to listen to some expert talking. I want to listen to Eva talking, 100%. So to kind of draw us to a close, Cliff, for any parents listening who feel overwhelmed or alone, what would you want them to know right now?
If you're feeling overwhelmed or alone, then you're welcome to join us on our channel. That's what we built it for, because we felt very alone in our journey. Like I say, there was only one or two parents that knew anything about similar struggles that when we were, and I'm on several chat groups, and they're all saying we feel alone, and that some of the chat groups are really nice, but it's just text on the screen. If you want to hear voices, if you want to become part of the show as well, we've got parents coming on, so they're welcome to join us, and we can have a good chat like this. And if you've got problems, we can try and work through it. I won't have all the answers, but someone else on the show will have, and we'll just be compiling all that information. We've got NHS practitioners and security people as well. Keeping our children safe is a big thing that we're interested in as well, with all the dangers of cybercrime and catfishing and all that horrible stuff that goes on in the world.
Yeah, trying to help all parents. And Eva, is there anything that you'd like to say to any children who might be listening, or that you'd love them to know?
Well, maybe that not you shouldn't really be thinking, oh, they're different to me. I shouldn't talk to them. Oh, I shouldn't really be their friend because they're different to me. I think you should put it in the sense that, oh, they're different to me, but maybe I can get to know them and understand why they're differently. Or and if you don't want to be their friend, then just don't talk to them. Maybe just if you don't want to be their friend, or if you want to be their friend but you put it in a really weird way, then just try and just try. I guess.
What about to the children who maybe feel they're a little bit different?
To the children who may feel a bit different, maybe you're just not alone. I think because there are lots of kids out there. You may feel it. 'Cause sometimes I feel it, and once you do eventually find those people, or find your people that you're comfortable with, or you're you have that fun bond, or you have or stuff like that with, then you'll get to understand yourself better sometimes, and then you'll be able to have fun around not just your friends or yourself, but your family maybe as well. So
Do you think this journey that you've both been through, with all the challenges, the EHCP plan, the moving schools, and now doing the podcast, has it brought the family closer as a result of this, do you think?
yeah, I think so.
I've written a book. What to do,
Yes.
Segue.
what to do when your child shuts down. And there's lots of things that we've been through in here, and strategies that parents can use if anyone's interested in purchasing that. It's on Amazon. But since we've been on this journey, we have a lot less shutdowns, because we're like you say, we are closer. We understand more. We can see the triggers. We can see the signs, when to walk away and just let her have some space. I think we've learned as a family so much in these last 5 years. And it all starts from the catalyst of, we've got a diagnosis. What do we do now?
Yeah. There,
Absolutely.
there is something that I say that I think parents should do is like when they get home from school, um, like and they do their usual routine, like have a shower or whatever they want to do after school. Then when you have dinner, like don't let them take their food to their room, if that's what they do. Like let them sit with you and talk about their day and like um and if they say, "Oh, I don't remember anything. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, it's nothing much. Oh, I had a good day." Or if it's just something like a one-worded answer or something like that, then maybe say, "Well, start from the beginning. What did you do when you get into school?" Or then start from there and then work your way to the end of the day. Because that's what we do.
Yeah. And that's something you
Yeah.
enjoy and you find really beneficial for yourself.
Yeah. It just like I'm not saying do it with all the kids because not all the kids do it the same way, but like maybe do something similar or just try something like that.
Does that help you to feel heard?
Yeah, and also it helps me to remember things 'cause I'm terrible at remembering
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay, that's good. So it forces you to practice what you've been doing over the day and it helps you to hold on to stuff a little bit better as well.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's awesome. That's great advice. Thank you so much for that, Eva. I think
Yeah.
that's a brilliant end to the podcast. Well, thank you, both of you, so much for spending some time with me. And it was amazing to meet you, Eva, and it was great to see you again, Cliff. Obviously, we'll be in touch and reach out, and I'll be following and monitoring your journey, both as being a YouTube superstar, Eva, and as well as a podcast duo. So thank you very much, both of you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having
Yeah,
us on,
thanks.
Andy. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. So, for all of you out there listening or watching, if you found anything in this useful, interesting, or you feel there's somebody out there who might really benefit from Cliff and Eva's stories, then please like, comment, and share. Do check out in the show notes as well in the description to check out the YouTube channel as well as the book and the podcast as well, and reach out to either of them if you want to find out more. Otherwise, take care. Cheers.